cheap, heavy and good. I think I could sum up in this way the review and the test, 500 kilometers test of this little fork, which is the SR Santur XCRRL. Let's go. Yes, this is the outdoor Sick Biker studio. Welcome you all. This is the SR Santur XCRRL. It's the so-called OEM version, so probably you cannot buy this particular one in the store, but in different versions with different symbols you might find this one for just about 160 euros or just less than $200. So my goal of this test on the e-bike, 21 kilograms e-bike, is to tell you whether it's worth buying or it's worth buying the bike which is equipped with this fork. So let's go. So this is the 21 kilograms e-bike, but just imagine it is like just regular hardtail, let's say 13 or 12 kilo, and I'm instead of 62 kilograms rider, I'm the 80 kilograms rider, and I think this will be pretty much applicable for many of us. What is this? Here we have on the left side, so from our side it's the right one, there is the coil spring, and on the right inside the leg is the damper with the lockout. I'm gonna tell you more about those just in a second. The exact weight is not even important for us. It will be quite much, just about 2.5 kilograms. The fork has been ridden now for 500 kilometers and I did nothing in terms of the maintenance. So I wasn't even cleaning the dust from the dust seals. I wanted to see how the dust seals would do on this fork after 500 of kilometers, because these are usually low quality on the cheapest Santur forks. On the better ones, there's different rubber, different compound, and it's better. But this one, well, it didn't spit with the oil or grease on the stanchions, so it looks pretty good. And here, in terms of the features, we have the preload, so we can set the tension on the spring. But I would say the preload, when you set it into plus, so when you higher the tension on the coil spring, which is here inside, you are either lowering or decreasing your travel and not really making the fork work different. So preload doesn't really work, I would say, and that's one of the disadvantages of the cheap coil forks, and I'm talking about that in another episode. It's in the description, so check it out, you must see it. But it doesn't make this fork rubbish. That's just the way it works with the spring. Okay, so I feel like I'm having less travel, but still same sag and same kind of way of working. Okay, then on the right side, and I'm happy with that, Santur gave us the lockout, and this is the remote lockout. So we can use this lever here in order to lock this thing out, and it's then completely locked, so zero travel. I like it. When you hit some strong bumps, it will react just a little bit, and then opening it is super easy. I'm not even using my thumb, I'm just doing this and it works perfectly. Happy with that. What I would say about the stiffness of the fork, well, this is the biggest advantage of this fork. It does the job. It feels secure, it feels safe. On the rooty technical sections, I just go down the hill and I'm not worrying about my wheel moving side to side and and back and forth. But you will hear quite often the rubbing of the rotor against the pads. But that tells you something about both the stiffness of the wheel and the fork. Especially when I lean the bike, you can hear the rubbing. But that's okay. Nothing happens. It will not break by itself. So the stiffness is just okay, which is not surprising because the fork is a heavy metal. So how it works? Well, it does work. It just works. It does the job. It is spongy. It is not responsive to the small bumps. So small bump sensitivity is the word that this fork does not really know, but it does the job. So especially if I'm going through some rocky terrain where the rigid fork would really try to send me to the sky, this fork does the job. And that's I think that's everything you need to know about this fork. It will be heavy, it will be stiff enough, it won't give you almost any possibilities of adjustments. You can replace the spring, you can lock it out, which is good, and it does the job. So, is it worth it to buy the fork itself or the bike with the fork? First off, if I was to buy the fork for just about $200, I would rather want to decide to add, maybe it's like $30-40 difference, and get the air version of it. So it can be heavy, but there will be no spring, there will be air, and you can adjust the pressure of the air. So that would be my choice. I wouldn't buy this fork like separately then. But secondly, if you're after a bike which is equipped with this fork, and you know that the same bike but model having the air fork version will be much more expensive, because also it will have some different components, I would go for this one. Because it's just okay, it works, it's fine, I'm happy with that. So once more, 21 kilograms, I am 72 kilograms. I suppose the spring there is a bit harder because of the e-bike, but it's just enough for me. I don't think I was really able to use 100 millimeters of the travel, but it's okay. So for the budget bike, yes. For the fork separately, add some money and go for the air version.